Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the series of webinars of the Corditex of the Cordillera Textiles project or Corditex. We are pleased to have with us one of our distinguished resource person this afternoon, uh, Leonardo Rey Escarino from General Santos City. So he's also an artist, an educator, and also a cultural advocate from the Ramon Magsaysay Memorial College in Jensan. So he's also one of our great supporters for for the sixth World ICAT Textile Symposium, where he also generously lent his collection to the exhibition. So now we will have him this afternoon to talk about the male weavers no, in Mindanao, changing space and gender. So good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Ngayong hapon, Ikin. I'm okay, pero may konting kaba.
Okay.
Hindi ko,
Okay.
ang technology.
Yeah.
Gamay. Yes.
Okay. You can now share your screen. Okay, while waiting, we would just want to inform everybody that the Corditex has a website where you can listen to previous webinars and also about our research. We also have a Facebook page where you can see the updates for our activities and workshops on traditional weaving. Okay, we'll now start. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I was properly introduced. Yeah, I was in Baguio last December, and I was glad that finally yung collection kita siya in a proper forum. No, I was building that collection for quite some time already. Question is, can man take part in weaving traditions of Mindanao? This is one of the most controversial questions. In this presentation, we interrogate the emergence of male weavers in three of Mindanao's indigenous cultural communities, the Blaan and their Mabaltabi, the Tiboli and their Tinalak, the Ironon and their Binaludan, in all. We zoom in on the experiences of these three men, their families, and their communities. I'm a college instructor, Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Colleges in General Santos City, and I started collecting Philippine ethnographic materials for classroom use. I became fascinated with the Ikat of Mindanao when my friend Arjo Turner asked me to work on the nomination of her grandmother, Yabing Masalundulo, to the Gawad sa Manlilika ng Bayan, the Philippines' highest recognition for traditional arts. Ikat in the Philippines is a very old technique. It's pre-colonial. The oldest textile in the Philippines and the earliest existing specimen of the warp dyed textile in Southeast Asia was found in the island of Banton in Romblon. The significance of the Banton cloth is that it shows the practice of the technique was once spread all over the Philippines. Today, ikat is only found in the Cordilleras in northern Luzon and some communities in Mindanao. Ikat in Mindanao is shared by the non-Moro Lumad ethno-linguistic groups and the Moro ethno-linguistic groups. The shared knowledge is evidence that it's pre-colonial. As recent as 20 years ago, ikat is still practiced by the Tibolis of Lake Cebu, the Blaans of Soxargen, the Subanans of the Zamboanga Peninsula, um, the Mandayas in their Dagmay in Davao de Oro, the Binaludan of the Iranuns and Magindanaos in Cotabato and Barm, and Binaludan Ikat of the Maranaos in Lanao. As of recent survey conducted by myself and Professor Ikin when we were organizing the Mindanao component of the Philippine ICAT, sadly for Mindanao ICAT, the Subanon Pulao is extinct. Binaludan could have already disappeared in the Maranao culture as well. Among the non-Moro Lumads, ICAT is done along the warp line. The Tiboli people of South Central Mindanao, it's called Tinalak. For the Bagobot Tagabawa of Davao del Sur, they call their in Ikat Inabal. Among the Blaans of South Cotabato, it's Mabaltabi. The Mandayas and the Mansakas of Davao Oriental call it Dagmay. The Subanans of Zamboanga Peninsula used to call it Gumpak Pulao. Unfortunately now, the Gumpak Pulao is extinct. Among the Moro ethno-linguistic groups, ikat work is practiced by the Maranao of Lake Lanao and the Iranuns of Sultan Kudarat town in Cotabato. River Basin, the Magindanaos, like the Iranuns, are accomplished weavers. They can do all the techniques, but only the Binaludan is only practiced by the Iranuns. Ikat for the Moro weavers is done along the weft line. So here is an Iranon, the subject of my study, Muammar, tying the warp threads. The Binaludan is shared by the Iranons and Maranao people. The Maranao used to do compound ikat, but no new examples are produced lately. We suspect that this could have vanished already in the last decade or so. The most recent development in Philippine ikat is the appearance of male weavers. In my thesis for my Master in Culture and Art Studies at the Mindanao State University in Iligan City, I studied this phenomenon. I met Alfred Sarino, Ablaan Tabi Weaver, Muammar Ali Bansil, a Binaludan weaver, and I met Agustin Sudao, who is facing the same resistance from his community. When the Cultural Center of the Philippines asked me to curate an exhibition for their Moro Lumad Culture and Arts Summit right after the pandemic, I chose to survey the crossing of gender and spaces, as this was one of the pressing issues in the Lumad and Moro arts and culture at that time. Alfred was facing complaint in his community and opted to abandon weaving and move to Davao del Sur. In my study, it was not stated clearly and in detail, leaving no room for confusion and doubt. But since there are no written account that weaving is gender specific, we all have that image that weaving is assigned feminine work. We cannot help but assume that it is indeed assigned to women. We don't have to look further than see the roster of Gamma winners. Half of them are women and most of them are weavers. In the recent batch, among the 9, only one is a male broadcaster and the rest are weavers and 2 are even ikat weavers. But ikat in Mindanao are almost communal, with men participating in the stripping of abaca, the start of weaving, and the beating and polishing of the finished cloth. But the actual weaving, the tying of the ikat patterns, specifically, were done by women. It is indeed a cultural phenomenon, this men weaving, doing the ikat. Agustin Sudao weaves the tinalak. He learned the craft from his stepmother, who is an accomplished weaver. He comes from a line of weavers, but Agustin learned by observation as he dreaded the pedagogy of his stepmother that included crowning the student with chicken nests, especially the ones full of droppings. There were no resistance from old weavers. There was even an old master that named the pattern Agustin, as she was in awe of one of Agustin's patterns. Is lately pressured not because he is male, but more because of his contemporary designs. Agustin, he will just have to transfer to Jensen to avoid conflict. But of course, he's still in the discussion with his community. Agustin comes from the Tinalak tradition as he is Tiboli. So this is Agustin in action and some of his works. These patterns are traditional, but the use of color is already contemporary. So there are no yellows, pinks, and violets in traditional Tinala. Alfred Sarino, as mentioned, is now residing in Davao del Sur, as he is originally from Polomolok in South Cotabato. He learned the art of Mabal Tabi from the master herself, Gamaba Yabing Masalon Dulo. At first, the old master refused to teach him, as weaving, according to Yabing, is a woman's work. So Alfred learned by observing Yabing teaching the girls. Having come from a line of ikat weavers, Alfred has innate talent. Yabing would later comment and started mentoring Alfred. Alfred comes from the practice of Mabal Tabi of his Bilaan kin. Here's Alfred in action and some of his works. Muammar, on the other hand, decided to become a weaver when he got married and needed to earn a living. It is a natural choice for Muammar. He is not the first male weaver in the family. His uncle Mansor is also known as Kempang in the Iranon community, is a known master. So was his father. when we came to interview the women, they said men are better weavers because they can devote their entire time weaving, as opposed to women who needs to prioritize managing the home. Weaving comes second all when all household chores are done. Here's Muammar and some of his works. So why men weave? Alfred and Agustin grew in a community of weavers. Alfred was born and raised in Amgoo, a hamlet in Polomolok, South Cotabato, where the famous Tabi weavers lived. Both his grandparents, Wayek Kayawan, and Ikon Kayawan, were weavers. This is also the home of the master weavers whose work are known in the Balaan community in South Central Mindanao. Agustin was born and raised in Lamdalag, a hamlet in Lake Cebu, South Cotabato. His stepmother and mentor, Suling Kansao Sudao, was an accomplished weaver. Lamdalag is also home to the master tinalak weavers, including Manlilika ng Bayan recipients Lang Dulay and Barbara Ofong, as well as other weavers including Anita Sudao, Blasan, Chita Kayaw, Uyel Anggol, Nabel Fayaw, Sisa Sikinan, Uyel Anggol was featured in Bookmark's Dreamweavers. Muammar already learned weaving in Sultan Kudarat, formerly Nuling, in Maguindanao del Norte, where his family relocated. His family is originally from Catintuan town in Lanao del Sur, where his family of weavers live. Mansur regarded as master by his community, and Muammar's uncle, who is with Muammar's parents, learned weaving the binaludan from their mother, Kamia Kasim. Muammar learned weaving from his mother, Mani. Most of the binaludan in the market are woven by men and women of this town, many by Muammar's kid. The three male weavers are also married with children, and providing for these families is a major motivation for weaving. Alfred is married to Clesen Joy Bungan with 2 children, Agustin to Rosalie Fendato with 3 children, and Muammar is married to Sumaya with 2 children. Their wives are not only supportive of their chosen occupation, they play a big part in the weaving process. What is evident, of course, in this study is that weaving is a lucrative livelihood. As expected, this is a major motivation for male weavers to take up weaving. Except for Agustin, who teaches at the Santa Cruz Mission School and has another source of income, Alfred and Muammar derive the entirety of their income from weaving and are full-time weavers. According to Hamilton in his book, Weaver's Stories from Island Southeast Asia, artistic production is always a product of changing economic and social circumstances. Although late in realization, these 3 male believe that weaving their traditional cloth is important and intends to teach, to maintain and preserve the craft. They commit to transferring the knowledge of weaving. While the motivation for weaving was primarily and initially economic, today male weavers have a relationship with their craft that transcends money. Agustin and Muammar secured contracts producing Ramon Magsaysay Memorial College's graduation garb, the Sinablay. This keeps them busy and their weaving financially viable sometime during the year. Agustin narrates that weaving pays more than his teaching job, and as of writing has been contemplating on leaving the teaching profession to concentrate on weaving full-time. As the two surviving weavers of the Blaan-Tabi, Alfred cannot keep up with the demand, and his waiting line is already 1 year. So we at Ramon Magsaysay Memorial Colleges create economic opportunities for these weavers. Weaving is heritage under threat. Gone are the mechanisms and economy that used to support ICAT in the communities that practice it. The patronage of the Datu system is now gone. It's being slow fashion. It's not even seen lucrative in the world that's moving so fast. If there's service to the art of ICAT, the emergence of men weaver brings, that is their being unburdened by tradition, in the words of Cherry Kison, offers them opportunities to explore new possibilities for their own weaving tradition. Manlilikha ng Bayan Rosie Sula articulated during the World ICAT Textiles Symposium that need to conserve the integrity of the tinalak, identifying its traditional colors for their significance. Pulo, red for bravery, hitam black for strength, and bukay or off-white for purity. She also pointed out that it must be woven in abaka. The male weavers are showing that this need to protect the integrity of the tinalak, shared with the Mabal Tabi and to a lesser extent the Inaol, is not irreconcilable with the need to innovate and pursue new weaving. The male weavers, needless to say, have been key players in the innovation. Agustin has recently experimented with using the techniques of the tinalak to create abaca textile with non-traditional colors. He also has been using traditional colors to make new patterns, extending the repertoire of the tinalak design. Meanwhile, Alfred is doing the same, but he is also involved with other projects. He just finished collaborating with the weavers in Abra, weaving textiles designed using tabi patterns, but dyed with Ibaloy indigo. This is not traditional color in the Blaan tradition, because part of the conditions for him being a that he refrains from using Fuyabing's pattern. Alfred has prompted to create several original patterns that follow design principles and conventions of the traditional tabi, helping him expand the textiles canon. Muammar, on the other hand, is busy both attempting to revive the lost traditions and creating new patterns. On one end, and his family is attempting to unravel the secrets of the Malong Andon, an old pattern whose underlying technique is now lost to time. On the other end, he is creating new patterns and exploring new dyeing techniques to add to the Iranon repertoire. Although without precedent, the emergence of ikat weavers in Mindanao is a recent phenomenon in the island's weaving tradition. Weaving in Mindanao, as in many other parts of the world, has been predominantly feminine occupation. But this is changing. In contrast, however, to this shift taking place elsewhere due to the change of technology, the changing economic dynamics, as well as decline in weaving and increased demand met with an increase in supply, are what has been encouraging men to take up the loom. Two of the three communities with male weavers have shown resistance to the emergence of these weavers. but their emergence has foregrounded the relative weakness of the taboo and prompted a re-evaluation of the traditional gender roles. The male weavers are now playing increasingly important roles in keeping the traditions alive. The role of gender in Mindanao is becoming less important. Its future is becoming more vigorous and dynamic. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank you very much, Bing, for that very informative presentation. So now we shall proceed with some questions. If you have, for our audience, if you have some questions, do let us know. And we have a chat box, no? Meantime, we have some several questions that we have received, no, from colleagues who are currently attending the webinar. So the first curious question is, you talked about this initial survey of Mindanao textiles, and you mentioned that there are also extinct textiles already. Could you tell us what are the causes of this extinction of this traditional ikat textiles?
Um, yeah, thank you. Marinig ba ako? Yeah. Um, yung ano, the Subanan Ikat, um, I think before it was transferred to the new generation, no? Unfortunately, the masters died already, no? So yan din siguro ang nangyari with some of the patterns in the Maranao, and the knowledge of the source of silk among the Maguindanao and Iranons is also the same tawag nito, issue of loss. Yung siguro because they are so these crafts are so guarded, no, na the even today the masters does not share the knowledge just like that. So siguro yun yung problema, no? Meron tayong mga SLTs now, pero ang problema naman, wala na yung, sabi nga ni Hamilton, the old um, demand or the economic system before that requires or that demands the production of these textiles, lalo na yung datu-datu system, no? Because to for a community to maintain weavers, that's a very big investment kasi syempre hindi na sila makaparticipate with the rest of the economic activities, no? Tapos itong these textiles, especially the abaka ikat, this parang sinasabi na they are parang currency na you can use it for exchange. Eh hindi na ganoon, no? Sa ngayon we buy it, no? May pera. Pero before it is important culturally. So like bride price, dowry, at tapos yung mga requirements for offering in rituals. So meron siyang demand before na wala na ngayon. So these practices are gone. So this is vital to the um the relevance of these textiles. Na so wala na yan, um, nahirapan na tayo. Like before, you weave because it's prestigious, no? There's prestige in weaving. Ngayon, binibili na lang siya per yarda. So sometimes like yung isang weaver from the Blaan community opted to work in Hong Kong. Sayang kasi isa siya sa dalawa lang na na-produce ni Fu Yabing na proficient na sa weaving, and they decided to work abroad, no? She decided to work abroad. Tapos there is also unfortunately there is this small community of weavers in somewhere in Davao del Sur na they are already inactive weavers kasi sabi nila mas lucrative pang magtrabaho as maid than produce an abaka you work on for 4 months tapos mabenta mo lang for like 6, 7 thousand, no? So divide that in months, parang ang kikitain lang ng isang weaver is less than 2,000. So mas malaki pang ang mamasukan na lang sila sa like Gaisano to be sales ladies. They will have more income than this. So iba talaga dapat ang dapat maibalik yung sistema somehow, yung prestige na as a weaver, and the value of the cloth na hindi na siya binibili. Pinipresyohan lang natin siya, the cost of abaka and the cost of labor, no? Kasi iba ito, artisanal and very slow, no? Very
Yeah.
slow. Although sinabi ng mga male weavers na yung motivation to weave is economics. So pwede rin naman daw kumita. So I cannot understand. Siguro may mga middleman na nung pumasok ang DTI, sinabi the cost of abaka, the cost of labor. So hindi na siya pareho nung dati na you are like a princess if you are a weaver. So kahit mag-weave ka lang ng mag-weave, you will be supported by the culture and the economic system that is existed before. So ganun siguro yun.
Kanina nabanggit mo yung mga materials din na ginagamit nila kasi may connection dun sa availability ng mga resources, no, the raw materials. Oh, I'm sorry, we have audience from Germany and the US pala. So the
Okay.
question is, it pertains to the connection of this weaving to the ecosystem, referring to the raw materials that they use,
Mm-hmm.
silk or abaka. Uh, is this is the source of these materials, no, aside from the loss of the artisans, also has a relation to the materials that they use, no, kaya wala na sila or did they started to disappear?
Um, among the Iranons in the Maranaos, because they use silk, we don't produce silk, no. So the old knowledge system is that they buy it from somewhere, and this somewhere was lost, lost knowledge. So now the weaving the weaves of the Maranaos and the Iranons are synthetics na, which does not what's this appeal to many collectors and buyers. Pero sayang lang because the knowledge of the source was lost, no? So that's the reason why they shifted to um yun na rin na siguro dahil mas mura and they can produce, binabarat din sila. So mas murang bumili ng commercial threads to weave. Pero actually the when we were doing the survey, they told us that the knowledge of the source was lost. Kaya hindi na sila nagsisell. Sa Abaca naman, um, most of ng Abaca is for what's this, for industrial use, mga tali, no, ropes. So konting part, a few parts of the Abaca is available for weaving. So that also makes it very difficult, and the designers are also now complaining about the matigas yung abaka. So they are actually the ones encouraging the weavers to shift to cotton. So there's that what's this conflict there, no, of maintaining the integrity of the cloth, that it should be made out of abaca, no, pero the market demands otherwise. So there is that conflict now regarding materials.
Yeah.
Okay,
uh,
sana ang cotton because available.
Cotton, yeah, I know the Mandaya weaver,
Mm-hmm.
what's her name now, si
Sampornia.
Samporonia Mandanlo explored also with the use of cotton, then went to abacas. I'm not sure where which comes first, the cotton or the abaca.
Sabi nila yung daw the difficulty of finding high quality abaca prodded them to shift to cotton. Kaya nga matagal nagkaroon ng gama ba sa Mandaya because of this, no? Kasi the committee felt that wala ng integrity the original intent of the cloth.
Yeah.
is lost.
Yeah. So with the extinction of this other ikat textiles, what can we learn from it, and what are the government interventions on this to avoid? We know Tiboli is very vibrant.
Yeah,
Laan has a
the
young
plan
people.
is struggling.
Ugly. So
Mm-mm.
at different phases of the weaving tradition. So is there like what kind of government intervention is being done to preserve the tradition and also to protect the sources of these materials?
Actually, the Gama Ba initiative is the government's answer to that, because when you're chosen, when you're given the award, a school comes with it, no? So the master actually is given the award to be uh, to be teaching in the SLT. Pero maliit lang yun eh, no? Ang dami-daming um, masters, pero we can only award a few. So siguro pag kung palawakin yung initiative, maybe so, no? Pero good enough na merong ganon. Tapos of course there are initiative like the Hobby, um ano pa ito, yung mga exhibition that gives platform to these communities. Pero nga ang yung original economy that surrounds weaving, I think hindi natin maibabalik yon, no? Pero during those times din naman, sabi nga ni Hamilton na it's also um it's also practiced by a very few masters. No? Sabi natin gone were the days. Pero in those days, actually, there are just two, three masters producing because the community cannot sustain so many weavers. No? So they just choose the best among the many aspirants weaving. So yung nakikita natin yun sa museums, there are really works of masters of those times. Kasi if you're not a master, you'll just work in the fields.
Yeah.
Parang ganun. And
Remind
support
us.
the weavers.
Yeah. Thank you. Remind us again, for the male weavers, if they create like how many yards of ikat, how long is that? And then you have a very nice kumo or tiboli blanket on your background. How long does it take to make like several yards and this kumo, and what are the labor included there, how many days, and the process for our
Yeah,
audience?
when the Department of Trade, DTI, intervened, they wanted to make it like efficient production line. No, but it cannot happen because the abaca behaves like um no, you cannot weave 24 hours because when the moisture in the air is gone, the
Mm.
abaca becomes brittle. So meron ding factor na ganyan na it will take longer time for them to finish. So normally a roll or a 6 meter roll will be done within 6 months. Kaya nga sabi ko na you will buy it for 1,000 per meter,
Mm.
and that's 6,000 for a 6 months work. No?
Mm.
Itong sa likod ko na kumo, that's woven by Barbara Ofong, the latest manlilika ng bayan. I ordered it 3 months before,
Oh.
pero this is already a school. So there's a lot of hands working on it. No? Pero traditionally, it's just one woman stripping the abaca, connecting the threads kasi short lang abaca, then tying the ikat pattern, then dyeing, and then actually weaving. So kung isang tao lang talaga siya, take in the account that you cannot weave from 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 because it's already marupok na yung threads. So tapos given the account na pagdating na ng 7 madilim na, so hindi ka na rin maka-weave. So parang they can just devote a few hours a day to the craft. No. Good yung mga gama ba na they have so many students na they will just supervise and a lot of hands are working. Itong abaka sa likod ko, kung isang tao lang gumawa niyan, that would be a year of work.
Uh,
Pero even maraming nagtrabaho, it took them 4 months to finish. Because nga yung you cannot weave straight. No? When the abacus starts breaking, you have to stop. Otherwise, you will ruin everything. Kaya gusto rin nila ang cotton because hindi yan issue sa cotton. Mas sturdy ang cotton.
yeah. You showed us this three male weavers, si Agustin, si Alfred, and
Muammar.
si Maomar. The work of Alfred seems to look like the master's work already. So,
Mm-hmm.
how do we distinguish itong this mark of the male weaver from the teachers, no, from the mentors that they have?
Oh, may kwento ako when I was doing the design for the Yoaming graduation garb, no? Um the grandson of Kuya Bing told me, you did not take ask permission from us or the family to use the pattern. Sabi ko naman, oh, of course not. This is not your pattern. It comes from ano. I had this what's this? I had this impression na it's all the same.
Mm,
If you're a blonde, it's all the same. Pero when I look at other patterns, indeed it's different. No? So when you go to the blind community, actually you bring a bolt of textile and they will identify the weaver. So sometimes somehow there is handwriting, no?
yeah, yeah.
If it's written text, they can identify the weaver. No? So ganun.
Yeah, especially in Tiboli group, if you're a first timer going to buy or looking at the patterns in Lake Cebu, they all look the same. So, of
Because we
course,
don't go beyond the three colors.
mhm.
We don't go beyond the three
Yeah.
colors. But if you look closely, even if they produce the same pattern over and over again, because it's a cut, it's hand processed, no two are alike actually, no. So ang impression lang kasi ng baguhan, they don't go beyond the red,
Mm,
black and white of the tinalak. Pero
mm,
if you look closely, iba-iba talaga siya. No, mas marami actually ang mas malapad ang repertoire ng design ng tinala kaysa
mm,
sa tabi, kasi ang tabi ano lang, apat lang, no?
mm,
Generally apat lang, pero kung tingnan mo pa rin siya in detail, iba-iba pa rin lahat.
mhm,
Like we were working before Yabing became Gama ba, dalawa silang weaver. There's one in Malungon, Sarangani, and Yabing in South Cotabato. No, both Blaans. If you compare their works, there is difference. That you can say this one is made by Gusie, Buan, the other weaver from Malungon, and the other one is clearly by Yabing.
mhm,
No, even yung Kalaya being there before in the 90s, there were like 6 women, no, na mga masters. You can identify the work of each of these masters somehow.
interesting. Huh? So, I'm just wondering, with the weavers, do they copy, imitate designs, or they also, for the male weavers, they innovate their own designs, or there's a core element and they innovate certain patterns or design?
Um, when you apprentice to a master, um, mapare-pareho nga lahat. Like when pressure was being mounted on Alfred, no, he was told na, okay, you can continue weaving. However, don't use any of the patterns of Yabing. Yun yung sabi sa kanya. So na-challenge siya. Knowing pagtatali and the result pattern, nakagawa rin si Alfred ng mga bagong patterns, no?
Yes.
So in the beginning siguro you are taught the patterns of the masters. Pero if you already deciphered the secrets of the ikat, pwede ka nang mag-design on your own. Kasi ganyan din ang nangyayari sa tinalak. Even if it's Bangala, the Bangala of siguro Langdulay will be different from the Bangala of Barbara or Sibulan, yung Sibulan yung daughter-in-law niya,
Yeah.
no? So kasi pwede pa rin mag-change siguro pag lipat lang ng tali o pag um, pag change ng konting um, distance of patterning, mag they can understand that, no?
Yeah. And of course, there are sacred textiles, sacred ikat, and contemporary ikat. So how can we distinguish the ones that they use for rituals and the ones for common use? Meron bang ganun na
No,
distinction?
actually all traditional tabi, dagmay, and tinalak for that matter. Kasi the process include rituals. So yun siguro kaya tinatawag siya ritual cloth.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Moros who look at these rituals as non-Islamic. So wala na yun sa kanila. They abandon that siguro in many of their ways, no, because of the coming of the conservative Islam. Hindi na yon. Siya mas madali mag-work with the Moro textiles kasi hindi siya ritual textiles. Pero ang ikat kaya nga ayaw nilang mag-contemporary kasi the ritual component will be lost. No? So
Mhm.
actually yun lang siguro ang difference, the ritual component. And of course the use of new materials kasi ang coloring limit them to what is available in nature. No,
Yeah.
the natural color of the abaca, the black that can be derived from the canalum, and the red that can be derived from the roots of some certain plants. Pero hanggang doon lang ang knowledge system nila. Kaya nga nung gumawa kami ni ni Alfred ng blue, we have to send to Abra the tide na naikat na abaca, and Abra ang gumawa ng color. Then binalik when they wove it, meron tayong blue. I think napakita ko siya sa
Yeah.
presentation kanina, yung blue na tabi. And marami ring doon, marami ring opposition because it's not traditional. Nasabi
Right.
nga ni Rosie Sula, if you depart from the red as courage, black as what's this stability, and white as purity, it's no longer tinala. So
All
kaya nga
them.
sabi ko, the role of men in weaving is that they are exempted from the burden of this tradition. So kung bawal sa mga babae to deviate from um the constricts of, 'di ba, the limits na binibigay nung tradition, pwede ang lalaki to do that because it's a different body, may ibang politics, may ibang meaning yung body na gumagawa. So ang hope for moving to contemporary siguro male weavers, no? So ang proposal nga ng paper namin na not to call these new textiles as tinalak, tabi, or dagmay because those are traditional. So sabi ko, ang proposal ko, we just call them contemporary Mindanao ikat because
Yes.
all of these are ikat. No? Pero may pag-away pa rin yan dyan. Kasi baka
Totoo.
mag-shift lahat sa contemporary ikat at mamamatay. And that's where the Gamma Ba comes in. Kasi may mandato ang Gama ba to keep the tradition. So damihan ng NCCA, yan ang challenge ko. Damihan niya ang
Gam-
pag-produce ng supported by the state because they cannot afford anymore, no? So ang pinaka buyer ngayon ng mga textile ay mga fashion designers, and they move around syndicated colors, no? Yung
Mhm.
trends. So pag ang designer hindi magsusunod sa trend, hindi siya magiging saleable. Hindi siya mamamarket ng industriya nila. So, when they source from these traditional textiles, they have to specify some materials, some way of doing the tali, the ikat work, no? For them to be viable. So may obvious na conflict with tradition there, 'di
Mhm.
ba? So yun yung nina-navigate. Kasi sa ibang bansa hindi na siya issue. No, siguro matagal na ring natanggal yung ritual that surrounds it. So, hindi na. Pero nung pumunta kami sa Kuching, when meron kaming yung Budayaw, BIMP, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth. Meron kaming arts festival. So, isa sa mga program nung arts festival is the ICAT kasi we share the ICAT among with these countries. So nung nagdala kami doon um ng ICAT exhibition, sabi nung coaching, wala silang problema they don't have issues against what's this contemporary moving into contemporary, but there are certain patterns that they want to maintain as sacred and traditional, so you cannot mess with that. Na process na yun nila, no?
Yes.
Tayo siguro dapat magpo-process pa ng how we navigate this. Pero going contemporary is keeping the technique alive, no? Kasi kung kaya nga precisely wala nang gustong mag-weave because the the original economic system around the textile, hindi man siya binibili pero meron siyang importance in exchange sa barter sa kung ano-ano man, eh wala na yung ano na yon, yung mechanism na yon. So nagbago na ang mga patron ngayon are the designers, no, the fashion or home materials na ina-appropriate yung use of the textiles with siyempre yung mga requirements of it being trendy, it being in the trend, mga ganun. So mahirap, no, na yung support system supposedly ng craft iba na, unlike before. Pero before, kaya rin siguro yung traditionally ganyan na itsura because that is also the demand of the consumers, yung mga datu, no? Yung mga yung mga royal blooded, yung may mechanism to patronize the craft. Kasi nga hindi sila mabubuhay. Kasi ang pamumuhay noon is hunting and gathering. Wala doon ang
Mm.
lugar ng weaving. So yung weaving talagang inano siya, hinahanap siya ng mga priest for ritual offering, hinahanap siya ng mga dato for prestige something, and people for dowry, ganyan. Yun yung mga economic system around it na hindi na existing today. So we cannot insist on keeping it like that. So ang ano lang talaga niyan is NCCA,
Yeah.
no?
That's
Because they have the state money, sila ng ano ngayon ang mga datu, ang royalty,
bagong
uh,
data.
ang
May
bagong
question
datu.
dito, Sir Bing, ito, may question tayo from the audience. How do male weavers respond to criticisms from female traditional weavers who deem them unfit or undeserving to be weavers despite their skills and heart to keep the heritage alive?
Okay, walang issue, sabi nga ni according to Agustin, before this paper, wala naman daw talagang nag-surface na question or issue until this paper, no? Na suddenly, oo nga, no? Wala naman talagang male weavers, ano. So, sabi ko, that's why I need to investigate. In the Iranon community, hindi issue. Kasi number one, hindi siya ritual. Pangalawa, it's very commercial. So, kung ikaw, lalaki, may pamilya, you want a livelihood, you want go weaving. Walang issue sa kanila yon. Pero dito, hindi naman kasi siya livelihood. Sinabi ko na yon. It's never a livelihood among the ritual thing. No? Hindi siya livelihood. Ano siya? Part of part of
Of life.
part of the culture, no, na hindi economics
Mm-mm.
ang motivation. Ang motivation is for ritual, for dowry, for something for exchange, for prestige, no? For yun nga sabi ni this is funny, sabi ng mother ni Agustin na when the Agustin gets married, I will not give a dowry to the bride. Instead, I will ask for the dowry because he is a weaver. Kasi in the tradition, if you're a weaver, you have a very high bride price,
Mm-hmm.
no? You don't contribute economically like ano kaya sabi ni Agustin, nandiyan yung kanyang first wife ng kanyang papa, which is the weaver, and he needs to find another wife to work in the fields. Because ganun yun. No? Yung original, ang lalaki hunting. Ang babae nandun sa farm. It's connected to the home. Yun yung tradition. So, nabago ngayon. No?
Yeah, it changed the division and all that.
Mm.
I have a question because we have some from our participants today from the National Museum. What is the connection of Banton to the rest of the Mindanao ICAT? It's kind of mind-boggling. We know from the early presentation, it has probably the same material, probably the same design or patterns. Would you see like a connection to this Banton and the rest of the Mindanao? On
Ang pinaka-connection na nakita ko is that you once upon a time there's ikat in Visayas. Visayas ba ang Romblon? No,
meron
Luzon.
se- uh,
Memoro pa somewhere in between.
Romblon, yeah.
No? Na ngayon wala na. No, so siguro dahil this Banton cloth nakalagay sa isang ideal place na hindi siya masira. Kasi ang cloth madaling masira. So wala tayong evidence na meron siya, unlike siguro wood or stone, wala tayong evidence na meron siya widely sa Cebu, sa ano no. Kasi siguro kung meron man, sira na yun ngayon. Yun nga mga bago, gawa lang 100 years ago kung hindi na sa Field Museum. Ako kung nakikita ako from the community, luray-luray na talaga siya because of use and because of abuse, no? So ang sa tingin ko the significance is that number one, ano siya? It's the oldest, sabi, 'di ba? Example of ikat in Southeast Asia. So, pwede natin maklaim na nagsimula sa Philippines ang ikat. Kasi tayo may pruweba tayo, sila wala. Pag sabihin ng Indonesia, asan pruweba nyo? Ah, tayo meron tayong ganyan katandang ikat. Tapos, ang technique is pareho sa tinalak sa ano, 'di ba? So ang significance para sa akin kung dahil sa study ko sa Mindanao Ikat is that we can say that it is indeed a very old technique, no? So yung sa Romblon nasa ano na siguro yun, pumasok na siguro yun sa Islamic or sa dawn of the Spanish era. So we can say that ikat is very old, no? Sa evidence na nakita natin sa Romblon. Um, kasi parehan yung ano kung the Subanen Pulao died out
Mm.
100 years ago, siguro wala na rin tayong nakitang evidence na
Mm.
kasi even sa collections abroad, konti lang din ang pulaw na nakuha, no? So, yun minsan yung mga markers kung tinanong ano ang significance ng Banton is meron tayong ano maatras natin ng konti through time ang ikat all over the Philippines. Cordillera man siya o Mindanao. And unfortunately na wala ang ngayon sa Mindanao. Kasi kung meron sa Luzon, meron sa Visaya, sa Mindanao, nawala lang siguro yung gitna. Kasi una silang na sakop ng mga Espanyol, no? Alam naman natin na maraming unfortunately hindi na patronize, in fact na demonize ang ating mga craft at saka practices ng colonial, 'di ba? So even now sinasabi na hindi siya among the Moro people na some of the practices are in Islamic. un-Islamic. Buti na lang ang tela hindi. No?
Okay, in your research, sir, have you encountered indigenous ways of preservation or conservation of textiles?
Yes, nilalagay siya sa sako. It's placed inside the sack when it's not being used, and it's placed in the doorway. Para
Mhm,
daw natatapak-tapakan, it becomes soft. No?
mhm,
Kasi nakita mo naman kay Agustin, pero pinupukpok talaga nila ng dos por dos yung tela to make it supple and soft. No? So isa sa kanilang ano nun is they put that daw in a sack or in a cloth, tapos it placed in the doorway para tapakan para lumambot. Kasi old ikat para naman talaga ring cotton sa
mhm.
lambot. No, siguro sa abuse ng tela in the long run magiging malambot din siya.
Yeah. I've encountered among the Tiboli, they wrap that in dried banana stems or
Oo, pangbalot yata, no. Kasi
ano.
they have to keep the moisture. Pareho rin yan sa basket. To take care of the basket is to bathe the basket with water. Mas lalo doon titibay, sabi nila ng mga collector. Kasi pag dry na dry yung basket, nagiging marupok. So ang ginagawa nila every now and then, they water the basket. So siguro, pag ginagamit ang tela because of our sweat, kasi hindi naman nila nilalaban yan masyado except after weaving para lang ma-finish yung ano, siguro anong tawag niyan sa art, yung you burnish it para meron siyang level of ano finishing. So yun lang naman ang role ng pagwash nun sa river, so matanggal yung ash, yung mordant, no? Kasi ang gusto lang naman matira diyan ang dye, yung mordant tinatanggal, no? So ganun.
So, aside from the three male weavers that you've met, no, in your research, have you met more male or younger?
Oh, lumabas na sila. Lumabas sa Lake Cebu, hindi pala si Agustin lang, nandun din si Ating, no? And some old one. And sabi ni Alfred, his grandfather is a weaver as well, no? Kaya sabi niya, bakit ako tinatanong na ang lolo ko weaver man din. Pero hindi lang natin alam kung weaving siya, na nag-iikat siya o nandoon lang siya sa loom na nag nag nag-hobby. Kasi ang ikat is pre-hobby. Before you weave, pre-weaving siya, no? You put on all the design before you weave it. No? Ganun.
Yeah. So in the
So sa mga Iranon na-mention na sa study na four generation at three generations na, no, na
weavers.
ang weavers, hindi lang sila Muammar. Tapos widespread na siya. In fact, ang the the one considered a master is Mansur, the uncle, no, sa male. Uh, Known siya sa BARM. Kasi makita mo sa mga festivals, pag festivals on Inal, nandyan siya, taking a place of honor.
Mhm.
So hindi talaga issue sa kanila ang male weaver.
Yeah. So uh,
Nag-choppy ka.
in the wet, also weavers, and now it's been uh, to come out and also to work on their loom, no?
Mhm.
Right now, there's a project with uh, DOSRI on younger generation of male weavers from Mindanao and also in Luzon, no? So, what do you think about this changes, no?
Yung
So, okay,
nag-choppy ka ulit.
Shopee ba?
Oo.
So last year in the World ICAT Symposium, you talked about this. You introduced us to these male weavers, and then now the DOST-PTRI, Philippine Textiles Research Institute,
Women weave.
the men who weave. No, there's a new program.
Women weave.
Yeah. And so a lot of this already inspired others to come out, no, and then weave, no, on their looms. There are also younger male weavers, no, from Luzon, from Visayas, and also from Mindanao.
Oh, actually, may nauna kaming research with DOST. Parang mapping the weaving traditions of BARM and the regions of Davao. Doon ko nakita na sabi ko ay pwedeng pag-aralan ang male weavers because meron silang na-mention a community of male weavers. These male weavers, sabi nung isang tourism officer ng Cotabato, it came about yung mayroong demand sa Saudi ng workers and they require lalo na kung domestic mga babae. So anong nangyari? Hindi pwedeng lumabas ang mag-asawa. So mamimili. So mayroong opportunity for the wife. And some of the wives are weavers. So they went abroad, worked in Saudi. So naiwan yung mga lalaki as house husbands, no, to take care of the house, the children and the loom. So doon nakita na siguro wala siyang magawa katulad ng mga babae na pag natulog ng mga bata, napakain na, so nagwi-weave. So ganun na rin ang ginawa niya because natay na siya sa home, nabaliktad na ang ano. Kaya ako nag-focus sa ikat kasi given ang ikat sacred, Fudalo, Furalo, may deities, no, na baka mas mahirap ang pagtawid sa
Mm.
ano sa which lumabas nga sa study na um, hesitant sila to cross and they are not really sure where to place the men weaving. Although nakita natin sa wits na sinabi ni Rosie na since sinabi at in-establish na it's a way of life, it's a way of getting income, wala siyang issue tungkol diyan. Ang issue niya lang is to make sure that the integrity of the tinalak is kept, no, that it's made of abaca, that it's these three colors only and you should not deviate from that. Pero hindi rin siya sure about sa lalaki, no? Pero pag hindi siya pag-usapan, at best na to tolerate kay may dalawa na naman. Sabi ni Agustin, since bata siya at naupo siya sa loom, wala man siya narinig na resistance na you don't do this, you don't do that. Mayroong isang instance, sabi niya yung mama, he was given a junior size loom. Sabi ng mama, he might not grow big, no? Kasi mabigat yung loom. So binigyan siya. That's an indication na meron siyang go signal from the mother. No, tapos yung nagsabi ang mother na, oh, Agustin is an accomplished weaver. I will not give dowry. Instead, I will ask for dowry when he gets married. So isang ano rin 'yan, isang layer. Si ano naman, si Soy, si Alfred, um, kahit anong ano on the record na ito kasi ginawa natin itong public forum, may i-share ko na lang din na mayroong resistance, mayroong sinabi si Fu Yabing na hindi, pero marami akong nakitang litrato, nandyan pa si the Gamma Ba Committee, nandyan si Albina, nandyan si Roses, harap. Sa likod nila, may litrato nandiyan si Yabing. Sa likod nila is Alfred doing the ikat. No,
Mm.
so hindi nila pwedeng sabihin hindi siya pinayagan. Kasi meron mga documents ako nakita na the old woman, kasi because yung kanilang, isa pa sa kanilang trabaho as Gamaba is to teach. So si Alfred, because the old woman is already frail, sira ng likod, so hindi na makatravel. He sends Alfred to teach in Balut Island, in Matanaw ngayon. So ano lang,
Interesting.
ewan ko anong issue niyan, no? Nakausap mo man din sila. Um, so may mga layers na ganyan. In fact, nung dinala sila sa NCIP to dialogue, the Council of Elders told them na, look, it's just you and Alfred. That's 100%, that's 50% each of the knowledge system na hawak-hawak. Sabi niya, so it's really endangered. So sabi ng mga matatanda, nandiyan marunong siya, we should allow him to continue. No? So on the record yan with the NCIP people. Sa kasi kung tinawagan ko sila, meron daw minutes yung meeting. Tapos that transpired in the conversation.
All right. Okay, thank you, Bing. Would like to acknowledge our friends, Christine Mueller from the Dresden Museum in Germany. We also have
Mhm.
Craig Diamond, thank you. Si
That's great.
Elaine from Bauku, Mountain Province, tama ba? And of course,
Mhm.
a faculty from our UP Baguio. You also have Ma'am Judy, hello. Ma'am Tala from Misaya Cordillera. No? So thank you very much for attending. Meantime, we still have 15 minutes and I wanted to know the levels of documentation for each of these groups. No? So we know that Tiboli is well documented. I'm not sure with the rest of the groupings kung how much of
Mhm.
this documentation and strengthening this communities not to continue to weave as part of, let's say, from the academe, what can be their contribution not to preserve this
Okay,
tradition.
yung RRL or yung related literature na nahalukay ko, um, brings us at least 100 years ago with the studies of Benedict, no, and this American era scientists who went around and gathered things, and now we can see them in the Field Museum. So as old as that, and then there's some things in the middle, pero hindi siya connected, no, mga studies, no. So ngayon na lang, with the museum collections na merong mga tawag nito museum notes na nakikita, yun tapos yung kay Reyes Angelica and studying the Bagobo, the Blaan and the I think Mandaya
Okay.
weaves, no, na pero doon din sa collection ni Field Museum. And then there is yung kay Hamilton na very extensive study on the weaves, yung the rainbows na ginawa niya. Tapos yung mga studies ni Cherry,
Season.
no, kasi sa tingin ko kung merong nagtingin at mga naunang nakakita ng mga weavers, nandiyan si Cherry. Naabutan niya pa yung mga tagam Malungon na wala na ngayon, no? Naabutan niya si Gusabi, kung sino. Tapos yun nga at hindi na document. In fact, magpunta ka sa mga antique shops, hindi mo alam kung sinong gumawa. Kasi anonymous naman talaga ang weaving, no? Number one, hindi yan siya gawa ng isang kamay. Ang dami-dami niyan from the stripping to the washing. Meron talaga isang master na siguro magdidirect ng direction ng isang tela. Hindi systematic masyado yung documentation. No, even kaya nga wala pa siguro isang buong book. I think yun yung project natin dalawa dito na to map the ang best bet lang talaga natin ay may maraming collector. Yan si Craig, no? Dami-daming na-collect
Hello,
ngayon na
Craig.
e-buys from important collections sa Europe na nire-release na. So, yun, maganda ring puntahan siguro yung collection niya.
Yeah.
Yan. Tapos dapat din yung mga collectors siguro should write. No,
Yeah.
sayang lang si Floyd wrote about that, and Floyd is gone, no?
Mm.
Writing about bulus and these textiles. Yun. Ah,
Yes.
nahirapan din ako sa research
I
ko,
think
finding
um,
appearance.
there are. Yeah, I think very scattered kasi I mean the literature, the materials and other references are very scattered, like they appear in chapters in a book. So maybe for
Mm-hmm.
this project, for the information of our friends, we are hoping to come up with the Philippine ICAT solely dedicated to Philippine ICAT from Luzon, of course the Banton cloth and also the Mindanao ICAT. So if you are interested to participate in this endeavor. No funding yet, but we hope to come up with the proposal for the Philippine ICAT, no, for this one. We have started the research on this last year, and we hope to continue the research, no, with minimum funding, no, little funds.
Napilitan lang tayo kasi magwiwits na.
Okay, so are there we don't have any more questions here, but would you like to say a few words before we end the session?
Hmm. Marami there's a lot of interesting things happening in weaving, no, pero there are very few people interested in documenting and writing it, na sana yan sabi mo nga, coming up with the unlike the tinalak, which is vigorous pa and dynamic, and some of the ano are already losing air. Kumbaga, no? Papagod na yung mga weavers na with the challenge na siguro they think they're giving up on this craft. Because nga siguro economics. Kaya sabihin natin 20,000, it does not pay, no? Sa actual labor and artistry and no, meron tayong national artist. Ang National Artist Award is given 1 million to produce painting na they can sell for 5 million, no? But we give only hospitalization for Agama ba, no?
Really? What?
And binibigyan natin sila ng 20,000, 40 na ba ngayon? As well do as teacher, no? Kasi meron silang SLT. Tapos hindi yun ganun kadali because ang mga estudyante niya living with them are fed by the master of the money given to her. So, asan daw nang magpunta to create new works, no? Um, kasi yung sustento is just enough to feed the people around niya. Kasi hindi siya pa rin ng master, no? Ang national artist bigyan ng 1 million na production grant. Tapos maibebenta niya sa pangalan niya ng more than a painting. Bigyan mo ng 1 million si Ben Cab, no? Para mag-produce ng isang painting. Afterwards, yung 1 million niya, magkano na yun ibenta. Because ang artistry at saka ang kanyang pangalan na hindi pareho sa traditional arts. No, that's why ang dali-dali ko mag-collect ng traditional art. Kasi mas mabili ko kaysa sa bumili ako ng gawa ng national artist na pwede ko lang bilihin ticket sa ballet ni ni
National
pangalan
Art
dito. Oo,
Programs.
ni Alice Reyes, no? Or ticket ng show ni Ramon Ubusan. Pero pag painting, siguro litrato lang ng work ni ni Ben Cab na makukuha. So yun yung disparity. Sabi nga equal in rank with the national artist and traditional artist. Pero asan ang hustisya, no? Sa papresyuhan, nandiyan pang um, good sa Gamaba. Pag pumunta ka sa Gamaba, isang linya. No, they don't have uh, to house to house bentahan ng kanilang work kasi pupuntahan sila. But what about the rest? No, kasi ang
Yeah.
dami ko nung nakitang weavers, master ng ang level, pero walang buyer. Tapos may buyer, babaratin pa.
You
So I
know.
think my heart goes to that more than documenting or collecting their works. Actually, nagko-collect ako to finance their initiatives para may bibilin. So minsan, sige gawa mo ako para gumawa.
Mhm. That's right.
Kami ni Craig,
Hello, Craig.
Mm.
Okay, so thank you very much, Sir Bing, for this wonderful, very informative talk. And we see a lot of nuances. No, in aside from the male weavers, we also see the challenges and struggles of our weavers. No, not only in Mindanao but also the rest. No, in Visayas and Luzon, um, struggling navigating their way, to survive and protect this particular heritage. Okay, thank you so much, Bing, and we
Salamat.
see you soon. And thank you for our audience from across Cordillera and Baguio. also from other parts of the country. Thank you so much for listening. And hopefully, you will join us again in the next month's webinar. Surprise for our next speaker. Okay, thank you, Bing.
Sige, ako na-surprise din.
Audience.
Thank you.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye.
Sige, bye.